Think you can outrun the law? Think again. This is Chase Point, where the most dangerous pursuits and high-stakes arrests come to life. On the weekend of June 13 to 14, 2020, 28-year-old Victor Topete, out on bail for manslaughter in Fresno, skipped his court date and returned to Pittsburgh, California. What followed was a 2-day rampage straight out of an action movie: carjackings, high-speed pursuits, and violent crashes. That night, police caught him mid-carjacking. He overpowered the driver, shrugged off a taser like it was a spark, and disappeared into the darkness. The next day, June 14th, police were called about a stolen white pickup. It didn't take long for the chopper to lock eyes on Victor Topete, driving on the roadside like the chaos hadn't even started. As soon as he saw the chopper, Topete bolted crashing into an officer and launching one of the wildest chases ever. After smashing into a cruiser and injuring the officer, he leapt from a 20-foot drop near the Caldecott Tunnel. Surprisingly, he sprinted across live freeway traffic and got hit by a truck. That white pickup he smashed into the cruiser? Turns out it belonged to his own father. Still, he kept running. Dressed in a neon vest, he managed to hijack another car and vanished through the tunnel. For a split second, he vanished, zipping through the tunnel like a ghost. But the moment he emerged, the chase reignited. A helicopter tracked him from above, while ground units and canines tightened the net. After carjacking multiple victims, surviving a 20-foot drop, getting hit by a truck, and smashing into police cruisers, Topete's rampage finally ended deep in the woods. He was already facing manslaughter. Then came 2 days of chaos and 15 fresh felony charges to seal the deal. Think American chases are wild? Strap in. This dashcam footage from Russia takes it to another level. We don't know the exact location, but one thing's certain: the driver of this car carrier was blitzed and barreling through the streets like he had nothing to lose. Driving a loaded car carrier like it's a battering ram, smashing into civilian vehicles. This is pure rampage straight out of a video game. What do you think of this? What would you do? Comment below. Determined to end the pursuit, Russian police engaged tactical measures. An officer discharged his weapon from a moving vehicle, successfully disabling the truck's tires. The suspect was forced to decelerate and ultimately pulled over. In Russia, the legal blood alcohol concentration limit is 0.2 grams per deciliter. Significantly lower than the 0.8 grams per deciliter permitted in the United States. With that behavior, the suspect was likely far above that limit. Arkansas troopers don't flinch at high speeds. They'll spin you out and send you flying into the next county. Just ask the driver of this trailblazer, who found out the hard way. On June 22, 2023 in Arkansas, a pursuit was initiated when a driver was observed veering out of his lane and failed to comply with a traffic stop. Drive like that in front of the cops, and you're guaranteed to get stopped hard. Trooper performed a pit maneuver at 88 miles per hour, causing the suspect's vehicle to spin out of control. The driver was not seriously injured and received treatment at a local hospital. Authorities later confirmed he had an active misdemeanor warrant along with new charges for fleeing, criminal mischief, aggravated assault, and reckless driving. If you're planning a getaway, maybe skip the giant white box truck. On August 23, 2022, Brandon J. Baker, age 33, led law enforcement on a chaotic multi-county pursuit in Florida, starting with a carjacking spree in the Tampa Bay area. After hopping from one stolen ride to another, Baker settled on a white box truck because nothing says getaway like a slow-moving billboard. Then, just to spice things up, he drove the wrong way down I-75, heading north in the southbound lanes like it was his personal racetrack. Seriously, where do you run in a truck like that? Was he thinking at all, or just praying for a miracle? Let us know in the comments. What would you do if you were in his shoes? As the chase tore into Gainesville, the Florida Highway Patrol called in reinforcements from the Alachua County Sheriff's Office. Baker veered off onto Southwest Archer Road, weaving recklessly through Butler Plaza, blowing through red lights and smashing into multiple vehicles as chaos unfolded. After all the chaos, Baker didn't just get caught. He got buried in charges: armed carjacking, burglary with battery, grand theft auto, kidnapping, and more. And in 2025, the gavel dropped hard. Life in prison. No sequel for this one. July 31st, 2022, Lawrence, Kansas. Rodney Erickson Marshall is about to make headlines for all the wrong reasons. Two men, Shelby Len McCoy and William Dale O'Brien, are found dead. Their names scribbled on a chilling list discovered inside Marshall's home. Investigators call it a snitch list. His defense calls it something else. But one thing's certain, the chase that followed would leave the city shaken. As the chase escalated, Rodney Marshall reportedly opened fire on pursuing officers, multiple times. The aftermath? 5 counts of attempted capital murder against law enforcement, stacked alongside a list of serious charges. In court, his fiancée Crystal Fredericks described a man unraveling, paranoid, erratic, and consumed by disturbing beliefs in the days leading up to the violence.
Step out! Keep coming!
The chase ended on Kansas Highway 10 near Eudora after police deployed stop sticks. December 26, 2021, Escambia County, Florida. What began as a routine highway patrol turned into a high-stakes pursuit when a black Jeep Grand Cherokee tore past a trooper in the opposite lane. Behind the wheel, an 18-year-old Pensacola man with no intention of stopping. He floored the gas, weaving through neighborhoods, blowing past stop signs, and barreling into oncoming traffic. But no matter how wild the ride got, the trooper stayed locked in, ready for a textbook pit maneuver. The suspect narrowly avoided a pit maneuver, placing him at a critical decision point: collide with an approaching officer or divert off-road. With police maintaining pursuit and refusing to disengage, the safest course of action would have been to surrender before the situation escalated further. Successfully evading pit maneuvers may feel like a win, but it often signals that the margin for error is shrinking and the consequences are catching up. After an intense high-speed chase through Escambia County, Trequez Davis was finally apprehended, facing charges of reckless driving, fleeing and eluding law enforcement, driving without a license, possession of narcotics with intent to distribute, and an outstanding warrant from Okaloosa County. April 1st, 2017, Palestine, Texas. At just 18 years old, Armando Venaya vanished from the ER, only to reappear behind the wheel of the very ambulance that had delivered him. What followed was pure chaos. One hand gripping the wheel, the other flailing out the window, as he tore through the streets at over 100 miles per hour. This wasn't a prank, it was unhinged madness. After a chaotic pursuit, Venaya slammed into a curb, crippling the ambulance and ending the madness. Officers moved in fast and arrested him on the spot. No injuries were reported, But the charges were serious. Driving while intoxicated, reckless driving, unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, and evading arrest. His actions? Pure madness, like a man possessed. That wraps up today's wild ride. If you're watching this thinking it looks fun, think again. Always obey the law, drive responsibly, and never pull stunts like this. Real consequences, real danger. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next chase.